What is up, you guys? It's Julia. Welcome to or back to my channel, and today is Monday, which you guys all know what that means. It is Manifestation Monday here on my channel, so I'm so happy to be here filming another video for you guys. Now, last week's video I filmed on how to transform your negative thoughts to positive ones, and it did not do good at all. But that is exactly why I'm here today filming another video, because I know that this video will reach the people that it's supposed to, and the people who are ready to hear this message, and the people who are ready to change their lives, and the people who are going to be inspired by this video and this message and this whole segment in general on my channel will find this video, and it's going to help whoever that is. So if you are here watching this video, thank you so much for clicking on it. Thank you for finding my channel, and just know that I appreciate you so much, and I'm so grateful for all of the followers that I have. So that brings us to today's video. Today's video is going to be all about why you cannot give up on your dreams, no matter how hard it becomes, no matter how frustrated you get, no matter how many times you fail. That's what we're going to talk about today. So let's hop right into it. So think of some of the most successful people you know, and think about what they have accomplished, what they have failed in, the journey they've taken. Now, most of these people have taken a journey that has lasted years and years and years, and most of their journey was failure. They failed and they failed and they failed and they failed time and time again. But when they succeeded so much greater than they ever dreamed of, or that their mind could ever have comprehended, because they persevered through all of that failure. And that's the key word here, is perseverance. If you have the power to persevere through any failure that crosses your way, you will succeed greater than all of your failures and greater than you could have ever imagined. Now, this book right here, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, talks about some of the most successful people, and it tells their stories and it tells their failures, and it says exactly that, how they persevered through those failures and they came out as greater people. So I'm going to find a story in it, read it to you guys so you can get the firsthand account of a successful person who has failed so many times and who has been so successful. So stay tuned for a second. Okay, so this story in the book is on page 105, and it's called What I Would Do If I Had $1 Million. This story proves the truth of the old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. It was told to me by that beloved educator and clergyman, Frank W. Gonzalez, who began his preaching career in the Stockyards region of South Chicago. While Dr. Gonzalez was going through college, he observed many defects in our educational system, defects which he believed he could correct if he were the head of a college. His deepest desire was to become the directing head of educational institution in which young men and women would be taught to learn by doing. He made up his mind to organize a new college in which he could carry out his ideas without being handicapped by orthodox methods of education. He needed $1 million to put the project across. Where he was to lay his hands on so large a sum of money? That was the question that absorbed most of the ambitious young preacher's thought, but he couldn't seem to make any progress. Every night, he took that thought to bed with him. He got up with it in the morning. He took it with him everywhere he went. He turned it over and over in his mind until it became a consuming obsession within him. $1 million is a lot of money. He recognized that fact, but he also recognized the truth that the only limitation is that which one steps up in one's own mind. Being a philosopher as well as a preacher, Dr. Gonzalez recognized, as all do all who succeed in life, that the definiteness of purpose is the point from which one must begin. He recognized, too, that definiteness of purpose takes on animation, life, and power when backed by a burning desire to translate that purpose into its material equivalent. He knew all these great truths, yet he did not know where or how to lay his hands on $1 million. The natural procedure would have been to give up and quit, saying, well, my idea is a good one, but I cannot do anything with it because I can procure the necessary $1 million. That is exactly what the majority of people would have said, but this is not what Dr. Gonzalez has said. What he said and what he did are so important that I now introduce him and let him speak for himself. One Saturday afternoon, I sat in my room thinking of ways and means of raising the money to carry out my plans. For nearly 2 years, I had been thinking, but I had done nothing but think. And that's the key right there. He didn't do anything but think about how he was going to do it. The time had come for action. I made up my mind then and there I would get the necessary $1 million within a week. How? I was not concerned about that. The main thing of importance was the decision to get the money within a specified time. The moment I reached that decision, a strange feeling of assurance came over me, such as I had never before experienced. Something inside me seemed to say, "Why didn't you reach that decision a long time ago? The money was waiting for you all this time." Things began to happen in a hurry. I called the newspapers and announced I would preach a sermon the following morning entitled, "What I Would Do If I Had $1 Million." I went to work on the sermon immediately. I must tell you frankly, the task was not difficult because I had been preparing that sermon for almost 2 years. The spirit of it was part of me. Long before midnight, I had finished writing the sermon. I went to bed and slept with a feeling of confidence, for I could see myself already in possession of the $1 million. Next morning, I arose early, went into the bathroom, read the sermon, then knelt and prayed that my sermon might come to the attention of someone who would supply the needed money. While I was praying again, I had the feeling of assurance that the money would be forthcoming. In my excitement, I walked out without my sermon and did not discover the oversight until I was pulpit and about ready to begin delivering it. It was too late to go back for my notes, and what a blessing that was. Instead, my own subconscious mind yielded the material I needed. When I arose to begin my sermon, I closed my eyes and spoke with all my heart and soul of my dreams. I not only talked to my audience, but fancy I talked to also God. I told what I would do with the $1 million if that amount were placed in my hands. I described the plan I had in mind for organizing a great educational institution where young people would learn to do practical things and at the same time develop their minds. When I had finished and sat down, a man slowly arose from his seat about 3 rows from the rear, made his way towards the pulpit. I wondered what he was going to do. He came into the pulpit, extended his hand and said, "Reverend, I liked your sermon. I believe you can do everything you said you would if you had $1 million. To prove that I believe in you and your sermon, if you will come to my office tomorrow morning, I will give you the $1 million. My name is Philip D. Armorer." Young Gonzalez went to Mr. Armourer's office and the $1 million was presented to him. With the money, he founded the Armorer Institute of Technology. That is more money than the majority of preachers ever see in an entire lifetime. Yet the thought impulse behind the money was created in the young preacher's mind in a fraction of a minute. The necessary $1 million came as a result of an idea. Behind the idea was a desire that young Gonzalez had been nursing in his mind for almost 2 years. Observe this important fact. He got the money within 36 hours of reaching a definite decision in his own mind to get it, and deciding upon a definite plan for getting it. So that is the story of how one man had this plan for 2 years, and the minute he made the decision that he was going to get it within a week, he received it. So I hope that story was inspiring to you guys. This is just a reminder to not give up no matter whatever it is you're trying to achieve in your life, because if you give up, you're a quitter. And just like the saying, everyone is hard in their lives, it's 100% true. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Whether that's in a game or in life, it's the true fact. So if you want something and you want it bad enough, you won't give up, because if you give up, it just means you either don't have the right persistence to get it and you never will get it, or you don't want it bad enough. So if you truly want something bad enough, you will not give up. So take this as your reminder to not give up and keep that persistence within you, and yeah, go for your dreams, reach for it. There's never been a better time than now, because nothing exists except in the present moment. So thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said before, I hope it reached whoever was ready to hear this message, and yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and I will see you next time.